Hey guys, how's it going? I thought I'd share a few thoughts with you today about something that happened to me a few years back that you might find interesting. So some of you that have been following this channel for a while now know that I come from a performance background. I was in bands for years and years, played a lot of shows, toured all across the country here in Canada. And so one of the groups that I started back in 2013, it was called Wooden Horsemen. It's still going strong today, actually. And although we've obviously taken a little bit of a break from touring and all that because of the pandemic, of course, but we were doing pretty well here in Western Canada. And we had a really solid network of festivals that we would play, especially in the summertime months. So we went pretty hard for about 5 years or so, and it was starting to really pay off for us. Aside from festivals, we did a lot of weddings too, and like corporate events as well. So it was actually, a pretty decent source of income for me, until everything came to a crashing halt more than a year ago now. But I want to tell you guys about one of the hustles that kept me busy during those days, and that was trying to find sync opportunities for our music. We would often pitch our music to supervisors, especially ones working on Canadian content. So if you're not sure what a music supervisor is, they're basically the head of the music department for a film or a television show, and they're the one that's going to end up selecting and licensing the music for the production that they're working on. And these are the people that you want to get a hold of if you're trying to get your music on a television show. So of course, there's more than one way in which your music can end up on a TV show. For example, you can get these types of placements working with certain music libraries, which may have some kind of relationship with the TV network. But having a direct relationship with a freelance music supervisor can be a real game changer for a band or an artist. And in fact, I know quite a few artists here in Vancouver alone who've benefited greatly from not only having the exposure, but they've received key placements on TV shows, and some of those back-end royalties really piled up over time. So let me tell you about how this exact situation happened to my band, some of the valuable lessons to take away from it, and also how you can easily do some of these things yourselves. So I should preface this story by giving credit where it's due. I was lucky enough to have some really smart people around me to kind of point me in the right direction. And for those of you out there who might find themselves in a position where you have a manager or someone is maybe proposing that they want to manage your career in some way, well, you should know that part of a manager's job is to introduce you to people who are going to be able to help further your career in some way. So throughout the years of being in a band, I attended numerous networking events, and trust me, nothing makes me feel more uncomfortable than being in a room full of people that I don't know, trying to schmooze my way in and out of awkward conversations. For years, I attended these events and made small chit chat with various movers and shakers in the Canadian music industry at the insistence of our band manager. And I always made a stink about it because, well, I guess it never really seemed to, make much of a difference. I hated making small talk, and most of the time, nothing ever came of it. But sometimes it does, and that's the most important lesson really to take away from all of this is that, every now and then you do strike gold, and it's just a numbers game. So one of the music supervisors I met over the years, and the one who actually ended up putting one of our tracks in a television show, was one of the very few that lives here in Vancouver, or at least she did at the time. Most of the Canadian ones probably live in Toronto, which is a long way from here. And most of the Canadian music industry is in Toronto. Funny enough, I didn't meet this person at a networking event either. I met her randomly at a bar, and at no point during our conversation did I mention my band, my music, or her job. I knew who she was, and I knew what shows she was working on. My manager introduced us. We made just like friendly, casual chit chat for like 10 minutes or so. And then, at the end I said, "Nice to meet you." And that was it. She was a lovely person, easy to talk to. It's important to, remember that this person is able to make powerful decisions that can affect careers and can earn an artist like a lot of money potentially. So there's a million people like me knocking at her door, trying to get her attention, trying to get something from her. And every day I imagine she wakes up to hundreds of emails from artists and managers, like trying to get her attention. So, maybe sometimes it's better to just like dial down the schmooze factor a little bit and just be real, try to develop a genuine friendship with someone. In my books, that's always a better strategy. Friends first, develop a rapport, and then follow up with the elevator pitch, when the time is right. And that's what we did. Every once in a while, my manager would just reach out and say, hey, how's it going? What are you up to? What's new? If you're working on anything at the moment that needs like a blues rock track, then we got some new music and check it out. And that's how one of my songs ended up on this show called Wynonna Earp. And, relatively speaking, it wasn't a huge placement, but the show had like a really diehard fan base, and we got a whole bunch of new fans from it, and like a bunch of streams on the track, and we made a bit of money too. So I was really stoked. So look, like I implement this buddies first strategy for sending out emails and social media too, and this is my like general philosophy about things. It's something that's really important now more than ever as the world consistently moves more and more online. So as I've transitioned over the last few years to being a full-time freelance music composer, part of my job is just reaching out and connecting with people. And for someone like me who's interested in working with filmmakers, it's important for me to know who are the independent filmmakers out there who would want to work with a composer like myself. I mean, they're all on Instagram. They all have LinkedIn accounts. It's really just a matter of checking out what they're working on, what they're up to, and starting a friendly conversation. I literally built my entire career just on starting friendly conversations with people without any expectations. The truth is, people decide to work with you because they like you. Yes, having great music, a great resume, a demo reel, website, all those things are super important. But at the end of the day, as long as those things, check out and they're all solid, people decide to work with you because they like you. And it's been my experience that just being genuine, honest, kind, and humble are qualities that people very much appreciate, especially, in this crazy ass world that we live in. So I just wanted to share that story because even though a lot of people that are subscribed to this channel are probably here because they want to learn more about music licensing or production music, I think personally that it's really important to note that there's a lot of money to be made by working on custom music composing projects. And if you're starting to, just put your music on libraries and maybe you're starting to see some sales as well, that's great, but I strongly suggest you at least start thinking about how to use that initial momentum as a springboard to start branding yourself as a composer or music producer for hire. Now, I understand that maybe not everyone is quite at that stage just yet, but if you're already putting music online, if you're already putting energy into this, I think it's something that's worth considering, because these days it's just easier than ever to build a website, to put a reel together, to start building your presence on social media. Yes, it all takes work, but if pursuing a career in music is something that you're interested in, these are all things that, of course, you need to take into consideration. Okay, so I'll leave it at that for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. And as always, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're up to. And if you have any questions at all, just hit me up. If you're interested in leveling up your production and your mixing skills, please feel free to join the Production Music Academy. It's free to join, and you'll be the first to be notified about all the upcoming courses and any upcoming course deals. And as always, if you're looking for personalized feedback on your tracks, along with access to in-depth production tutorials, make sure to hit up my Patreon. All those links are below. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.